You've probably heard the rumor. Modern engines are like Hollywood relationships. Pretty, short-lived, and full of drama. Like your car is Leonardo DiCaprio's old girlfriend who just hit her 26th birthday. This one's old. Time for a new one. But is that actually true, or did we just forget how to care for our cars the right way? I'm not here to debate that. I'm here to show you what worked. Real talk. My 1998 Toyota Camry hit 700,000 miles. Yes, 700,000. That's not a typo. That's not an odometer rollback. That's persistence, maintenance, and just a sprinkle of obsession. And if you're thinking, he probably has a garage full of tools and a degree in mechanical wizardry. Nope. I'm just a regular driver with a few habits that work like magic. 17 to be exact. And I'm about to share every single one of them with you. These aren't expensive. They aren't fancy, but they are powerful. So buckle up, because this is how I made my Camry last longer than most cars even have a resale value. Number 1, always let the engine warm up. Before I even think about shifting into gear, I give my car a full minute to wake up. Doesn't matter if it's summer, winter, or the actual gates of Mordor outside. That 60-second pause lets the oil circulate and coat all the moving parts, so nothing's grinding together like a bad Tinder date. Skipping this is like sprinting without stretching. Sure, you can do it, but don't cry when something snaps. A buddy of mine never warmed up his Civic in winter. His timing chain started singing sad songs within a year. Me, 700,000 miles later, not a single rattle. Coincidence? I don't think so. Number 2, oil changes. On time, every time. Oil is the blood of your engine. And you wouldn't ignore a blood transfusion schedule, would you? I change mine every 5,000 miles, no excuses, no, hey, I'll wait another week nonsense. Even though synthetic oil promises you can stretch it to 7,500, I wasn't gambling on a technicality. Each oil change was a checkup. I'd look at the color, sniff it, don't judge me, feel the texture, and look for metal sparkles. At 350,000 miles, I spotted a faint shimmer, caught a bearing failure before it became a $4,000 repair. So no, oil changes aren't just chores, they're self-care for your engine. Number 3, avoiding short drives. Engines hate quickies. Short trips don't give your car time to heat up fully, which means moisture builds up inside the engine. That moisture mixes with the oil and creates sludge, also known as the peanut butter of death for your motor. So I stopped using my car like a glorified golf cart. 3-block trip to the store? I walked. Needed to run 5 errands? I batched them into one solid drive. Meanwhile, my friend who drove 1 mile to work every day ended up with a sludged-out engine by 90,000 miles. I told her. She didn't listen. Don't be my friend. Number 4, using a code scanner religiously. Your dashboard lights are basically your car whispering, "Help me." But an OBD2 scanner? That's your car screaming the full diagnosis in HD. For those who don't know, an OBD2 scanner plugs into your car's computer port and spills the tea on what's really going on. I got one that connects to an app, and suddenly I had access to all the secrets: fuel trims, coolant temps, transmission behavior. One day at 300,000 miles, the scanner showed rising coolant temps even though the dash gauge looked chill. I popped the hood. Steam was hissing from the radiator cap like a tea kettle. $10 and 5 minutes later, crisis averted. No scanner? That would have been a blown head gasket and a very ugly day. Number 5, using only OEM or trusted aftermarket parts. I tried saving money once with a bargain serpentine belt. Keyword, once. It snapped while I was merging onto the freeway. Nothing humbles you faster than coasting with no power steering in rush hour. From then on, I only used original equipment manufacturer parts, also known as factory parts for the extra slow people in the back. I also used trusted aftermarket names: Denso, Bosch, the big boys. Sure, they cost a bit more, but they fit, they last, and they don't bail when you need them most. When you're going for 700,000 miles, shortcuts are just longer detours to regret. Number 6, performing partial transmission fluid changes. Full transmission flushes on high-mileage cars can stir up gunk like shaking a snow globe full of metal flakes. Instead, I did partial fluid changes, just a few quarts every 30,000 miles. It's like a gentle detox instead of dropping your engine into an ice bath. And guess what? At 600,000 miles, my original transmission was still shifting smoother than a jazz sax solo. No slipping, no rebuild, just clean fluid and consistency. Number 7, listening to my car like it's gossiping. Once a week, I drive with the radio off and listen. Every rattle, whir, or squeak told me something. At 400,000 miles, I heard a soft whirring no one else noticed. It was a worn wheel bearing. Caught it early, fixed it cheap. I've heard brakes squealing before they turned into grinding, steering feel changing before a tie rod gave out. Your car talks. Most people just ignore it, but not me. I'm basically fluent in car whisper. Number 8, Keeping the engine bay clean. I clean the engine bay every few months, not to win a car show, but because clean engines snitch. Dirt hides problems. Grease camouflages leaks. But when everything's clean, you can spot trouble before it spreads. At 250,000 miles, I saw a thin oil line on the valve cover. A small gasket seep. Left alone, it would have soaked the alternator. Caught early? $10 fix. A clean engine is like having good lighting at a photo shoot. It shows you the flaws. Be sure you're there to fix them. Number 9. Using cruise control like a pro. Highway trips are engine therapy. Cruise control keeps the RPM smooth and steady, letting the engine chill out and run efficiently. Every time I took a long trip, my Camry came back feeling fresher. It's like taking your car to a spa, but with less cucumber water. Even the fuel injector stayed cleaner from the consistent combustion. City driving ages a car. Highway driving heals it. Number 10. Avoiding hard braking like the plague. Whenever I drive as if I had an enormous bowl of chicken soup sitting on the dashboard. Every stop is gentle. Every acceleration, smooth. This saved my brake pads. 80,000 miles per set, reduced rotor warping, and gave my tires longer life. Plus, it made me a better driver. Smooth driving forces you to think ahead, which means fewer surprises and fewer oh no moments. Number 11. Weekly tire pressure checks. Every Sunday, I grabbed my trusty digital tire pressure gauge and gave my tires a little love. Just 5 minutes, but it saved me a fortune over time. Tires wore evenly, fuel economy improved, handling stayed tight. I got 70,000 miles per set of tires, and over 700,000 miles that added up to thousands saved. Also, you feel oddly powerful holding a tire gauge, like a mechanic Jedi. Number 12. Replacing belts and hoses before they fail. Belts and hoses don't get enough love. They're like background singers until they snap mid-song and leave you stranded. I replace them every 100,000 miles. At 500,000, I changed a coolant hose just because it looked tired. Mechanic later told me it was days from bursting. Preventive maintenance isn't sexy, but neither is a tow truck. Number 13. Avoiding long idling sessions. Idling sounds harmless, just chilling with the AC on, right? But in reality, it's like slow cooking your engine in its own juices. I turned off the car if I was waiting more than 3 or 4 minutes. Modern engines can handle frequent restarts just fine. Less idling means less carbon buildup, cleaner combustion, and less money leaking out your tailpipe while you sit there scrolling TikTok. Number 14. Greasing the suspension joints. Once every 100,000 miles, I jacked up the car and got under there with grease. Ball joints, bushings, control arms. If it moved, I fed it lube. This isn't common, but it's a secret weapon. The ride stayed smooth, the steering stayed sharp, and I avoided a bunch of expensive repairs that hit most high-mileage drivers like a wrecking ball. Smooth suspension equals less drama. Number 15. Keeping the tank above 1/4 full. Running your tank to empty doesn't just risk embarrassment, it bakes your fuel pump. That sucker is submerged in gas to stay cool. Run low, and you're cooking it alive. I always kept at least a 1/4 tank. Always. My reward? The original fuel pump lasted 700,000 miles. You heard me. It lived triple the time of most reality TV careers. Number 16. Flushing coolant every 3 years. Coolant isn't just for heat, it's your engine's personal bodyguard against corrosion and internal rust. Even if it looked clean, I flushed it every 3 years. Why? Because corrosion is like a silent assassin. You won't know it's there until your radiator gives out at the worst possible moment. Mine lasted 600,000 miles because I didn't gamble with rust. Number 17. Treating the car with respect, even when it looked busted. By the time my Camry hit 700,000, it looked like it survived a zombie apocalypse. Faded paint, torn seats, radio possessed by static demons. But I never drove it like a junker. I still listened closely, still did my rituals, still gave it the care I would a brand new car. Because here's the truth. How you treat your car matters more than how it looks. Respect is the real fuel that kept my Camry alive. So that's it. 17 habits. None of them flashy, none of them expensive, but all ridiculously effective. You want your car to last? Start now. Pick one, then two, then make them second nature. Tell me in the comments, what's the highest mileage you've ever hit? What weird car rituals have saved your ride? Share your wisdom. If this video gave you even one tip worth trying, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and send this to someone who treats their car like it's disposable. Let's keep these machines alive. Because cars don't die of old age, they die of neglect. Don't be the reason yours taps out early.